We are now talking to the Yankees free agent outfield prospect, Aaron Palensky. What's going on, Aaron?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, my friend. We're very excited to have you. How are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
Over here in Omaha, it's probably one of the better places to be at in America right now. Pandemic wise, most things are open. However, they did just order a little thing where you got to wear a mask everywhere you go. But other than that, we're safe. We're healthy.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm not wearing a mask on the show, as you can see. Thank God, because I probably wouldn't be able to breathe in this room and in this studio. Because I'll tell you this right now. If you go outside right now here in New York and Long Island, thank God you're not here yet. It's about 100 degrees. Humidity, it's terrible. I sweat my you-know-what. So it's terrible, man. I definitely don't like it over here. I like the cold. And I'll play baseball in the cold. I was a hockey player, so there you go. Anyways, let's get into the Yankees. And how did the Yankees reach out to you and tell you that you were getting signed by them? And what were you doing when they reached out to you? And were you excited? Did you tell your parents? Were you jumping up high? Were you smacking your brother in the back of the head? I don't know. I mean, I would be doing that. That's for sure. How did you feel when the Yankees reached out to you and tell you that they were going to sign you?
Yes. So the first time they actually reached out to me, I was working my job at Amazon. I was delivering packages. I got a job for, about 2 months after the season, up until I signed. I remember I got a call. It was an unknown number. And I knew it was probably a team. They said it was the Yankees, and I stopped my van in the middle of the road, pulled over, and I was like, yep, this is Aaron here. And, we talked, called my dad right after that. He was super excited because, it's the Yankees. I had talked to teams in the past, but it was the Yankees. So definitely excited about that. And that was before the draft. They never said anything about drafting me, but, they were in contact a lot. And then the Sunday that they were able to reach out, they actually were the second team to call. They called about 2 minutes after they were allowed to. But I called them right back. And, they were like, listen, we want to sign you. It took a couple days, and I thought it was the right decision for me. I'm so happy with my decision.
The Yankees are one of the most loaded teams in baseball, both with their current roster and with their farm system. So which player on the farm system and the major league roster are you most looking forward to playing with, and why?
In the farm system, somebody I played against the last 2 seasons. He played for Arizona State, Trevor Hauver. I played against him last year and this year. We both had home runs in our series we played in this year. I've never met him. I've never talked to the guy, but I don't know why. Just for some reason, I'm excited to play with that guy. And somebody I really want to play with, or talk to or hit with someday. I really want to hit with John Carlos Stanton. I think that guy is really cool. Just a big, strong guy, just hits friggin' bombs. So that's a guy that I want to meet and play with.
When you look at the Yankees and the growth of some of the young players that we've seen come up and really develop, Gleyber Torres being one of them, Andahar being another one, is there a particular player that you kind of technically try to mimic, or is there a player that you can pick in the major leagues right now that plays your style of game?
That's kind of a question that my coaches at Nebraska would have us answer for them. Unfortunately, he doesn't play for the Yankees, or actually he did play for the Yankees a couple years ago. Was actually Andrew McCutchen. I felt like I was a pretty similar player to him. Both outfielders hit for a little bit of average, a little bit of power, a little bit of speed on him. So I feel like that was a guy that, and when he played for the Yankees, I definitely watched him, and, for Pittsburgh. But yeah, that was kind of a guy that I would like to model my game after a little bit.
At Nebraska, you guys made the NCAA tournament last year in 2019 in a pretty strong Big Ten throughout college baseball. So just talk about some of the experiences you had that season playing in Nebraska, which again, it's college baseball. It's Omaha right nearby. It's the College World Series. Talk about that experience just with the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Playing with Nebraska was definitely a dream come true. Being from Omaha, growing up watching the Cornhuskers, that's who I want to play for in college. So after my first year of junior college, they came knocking. They said that we want you, and it didn't take long for me to commit there. And it was really, really special being able to play in front of my family. My family was at every single home game, and even some of the close away games. But that was definitely the most special thing about playing for Nebraska. And in a Power 5 conference, playing solid competition every weekend, I really developed my game there. It really was just a blessing to play there.
Is there a particular Yankee or a particular player in the major leagues that you compare your game to?
I said Andrew McCutchen. I hit for a little bit of average, a little bit of power, a little bit of speed. Kind of a really well balanced player. I model my game after him. I love the way he plays and competes. So I'd say Andrew McCutchen.
I want to go back to the Nebraska thing. There's a lot of talks of baseball expansion going around, different cities that could use a new baseball team. We've heard Portland, we've heard Charlotte, and one of the ones that have been brought up has been Omaha. Do you think they would be one of the best fan bases if they had an MLB team in Nebraska based on their college reputation?
I would say yes, because Nebraska doesn't have anything. So Nebraska Cornhuskers, football, baseball, volleyball, that's our pro team. That's who that's who really the state of Nebraska looks up to. So I think if Omaha had an MLB team, I think it would be huge. I think it would be awesome.
Now, Aaron, when you look at the Yankees and they have 27 World Series and a lot of people, there's no team in sports history that's won as many titles as the New York Yankees. You have probably the best GM we've seen in the last, I would say, 40 years in any professional sport. I mean, this guy has found gems everywhere he's drafted. Every free agent he's brought in, they become gems. When you look at the New York Yankees organization as a whole, could you compare any organization in professional sports to the Yankees?
Really, I can't, and that was part of my decision signing with the Yankees. I knew I was going to the best team, not only historically, but I think are still the best team. They got the best reaches, got the best, player development. They're just the best, and that was the biggest factor of my decision with signing with them. They got the most World Series for a reason.
In addition to the Yankees being one of the best teams for a while, they also play in one of the smaller ballparks. And this is a question being for you as an outfielder. Do you think there's a big discrepancy throughout the league, and how do you adjust to that in both Major League Baseball and in college baseball if there's different ballpark sizes?
I don't think it should vary too much. That's what's awesome about baseball. I don't even know if any other sports can really say that. Dimensions are different, and that's what makes each field unique. So I mean, yeah, sure, maybe the Yankees get to play on there more, but it's like Colorado, that field, ball carries their big outfield, maybe hit some more doubles and triples, but I don't see why it's that big of a deal.
When you look at your personality, who you are as a player, and you project yourself to be a great outfielder, a great power, do you see yourself as a power hitter? Do you hit for contact? What type of player are you?
I kind of see myself really as this guy that excels at getting on base. I think that's what I do best. But I think what I can also do is I can definitely hit for a little bit of power. So I think I'm really kind of a good mix of both. I do have the power to knock the ball apart, but I feel like I excel at just reaching base.
What do you think are some of the differences between what you've watched in Major League Baseball, now entering a minor league system with the Yankees, and again, playing college baseball, playing in a Power 5 conferences? What do you think are the differences in the two styles of game?
It's the same game when it comes down to it, but at the same time, it's just a different level. It's a different animal. Everyone's going to be bigger, faster, stronger. So, it is the same game, but, at the same time, everything that goes into it, the drama, I don't know, I've never obviously been there yet, but, if there's drama that comes with professional baseball or, pressure, but it's just everything moves faster, it's just it carries a bigger weight, and, it's just maybe a little more intimidating. So, if I can calm my head and approach it just as I did as a kid, I think it'll be fine.
The Yankees have had tremendous, great outfielders over the years. You talk about Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, you have Aaron Judge there, you have Clint Frazier, you have Aaron Hicks. They're loaded right now in the outfield. When you look at being that you're a young player and you're going to grow in AA and single A and AAA, do you see yourself as a player where the Yankees can obviously bring you up in the near future and use you as a center fielder or a left fielder? To me, when the game completely transitioned over the last couple of years in baseball, I think the outfield has really become a power position. Do you see yourself as a power hitter?
Yeah, going back to what I said, I definitely think I have enough power, to hit a good amount of home runs. I definitely feel like I increased that ability this past year in Nebraska. But yeah, I definitely feel with strength and conditioning program the Yankees got me on, I can gain some weight, gain some strength. And yeah, I do see myself kind of developing into a more powerful hitter, and sticking with my consistency of getting on base.
Some of the coaches now in the minor leagues, because of analytics taking over the major leagues, has stressed power hitting. They don't really care if you strike out. They really care more about the home runs, the launch angle, and stuff like that. Is that something that you're willing to embrace now as a minor league player now entering the farm system? And how much do you think you would have to change your game in order to do that? Or do you think maybe your game would just naturally come in?
Yeah, I do think I'm going to fit in smoothly. I think that's part of the reason, why the Yankees took me. They must have seen something they like. But, when it comes down to it, they know more than I do. So, if they think that, little changes here and there are going to give me the best chance to succeed, I'm going to embrace every opportunity that they give me, everything that they tell me to do. If it works, I'm definitely going to stay with it. But I'm definitely not going to change who I am because, that's what got me here this far. So, I'm going to remember what got me here and, got me to this point and, continue to work hard and, it'll work out.
Have you talked to Aaron Boone? Have you talked to Brian Cashman? And if you have, what did they say to you?
Yeah, so I think it was the day before I signed. I was on a Zoom call with Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman, and that was really cool to get to talk to those guys. They brought some, really good insight, not only with what the Yankees have, but, kind of with the process of, signing. I don't remember exactly what we talked about, but it was really, really cool to get to talk to those great baseball minds and, get to talk about the Yankees. And it's definitely something that I'm going to remember.
What are some of the craziest games and your favorite games you ever played in at any level?
So I remember in high school. I was playing against some of my future teammates at Nebraska. One of the pitcher that was pitching that game, I played with him. And going into the bottom of the seventh, play 7 minutes in high school. Going into the bottom of the seventh, we're down 7-1, and my team got 7 straight hits, and I actually hit a walk-off home run off my teammate in that game. So that was really funny. We would still laugh about it. I was giving a little crap in there, but.
As you guys know, we are talking to Yankees free agent outfield prospect Aaron Palensky. Now, Aaron, I don't know about you. We like to have fun on this show, and we like to crack jokes. I don't know, in your school that you play college ball, is there a particular player that really stood out as the comedian of your team? And if so, are you one of those guys? Are you the funny guy? Are you the guy that likes to play practical jokes or practical pranks on certain players in the locker room?
I wouldn't say I was the locker room clown, but there were definitely some guys that like to joke around and poke fun. One of those guys being Jackson Hallmark, he's an infielder for Nebraska. That guy would make fun of people here and there, and people would make fun of him too. So that was good. He was actually my roommate, Trey Kissick. Me and him we weren't necessarily the clowns, but we were kind of the dorks, and we were kind of the guys that they got to make fun of a lot. So I guess that's how that whole dynamic works.
Well, I'm a clown too because I have this big, huge fly swatter, okay? And during some of the shows, I like to pull it out, and if Speedy does something stupid, I like to bang him on the upside of his head. That's what I like to do. And people watch this show pretty strategically, and they look at me like I'm a weirdo, but I do like to have a little bit fun. So let me ask you this question. If I blindfolded you, and I tied Speedy to a tree, okay? And I told you to swing as hard as you can at him. How would you swing, and would you swing hard?
Oh, man. So I'm definitely not a person that likes to, purposely hurt somebody, but, depends on the bat you gave me. If you give me a pool noodle, I'm going to smack the crap out of him. But, give me a bat, I might just, give a nice little friendly tap.
Friendly tap? Maybe he has some candy inside of him, man. I mean, look at him. Look at this.
Why would you want already digested candy?
I don't know. It might taste good. I don't know.
All right, you can experiment on that.